your
There's some interesting channels here. You hit live. There's some
I did hit live. Good morning,
interesting
everybody.
channels where they do that. They make a lot of noise in the background.
No, that's the noise. Did you done? Are you done eating your
Hell no, I still
coffee?
have. Look, I still have
Okay.
my oatmeal.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Those tuning in. I don't even know. It's saying that's happening now. We
Going
are
live now.
officially live. Yes, we're live.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Don't mind me. I'm making noise because I'm eating porridge. It looks like porridge, but it's oatmeal.
Yeah. What is that? Have you ever tried this Jamaican peanut porridge?
No. Sounds
So
yum.
good.
Because I put peanut butter in my oatmeal, so that might be
You should check the recipe online.
delicious.
It's really, really good.
Mm.
Anyway, so today's topic is a serious one. We decided not to discuss ever the North settlement because anyway, too much talk about it, too much fear mongering, and I don't want to go against some of those coaches and stuff that are trying to bank on the recent turn of events. And I understand they got to make a living as well, right? I'm just seeing out there a lot of confusion, a lot of fears, a lot of basically fear of change.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I want to make a disclaimer out to the world right now because this is being put live on the internet, on many different platforms. What we're trying to accomplish today, it's not an easy feat, is to clear up a little bit of the confusion with the recent change and what all the forms that we're going to have to use right now from MLS and how to navigate the changes without creating any additional fear on what's going on. Okay, as New Yorkers, we've been using a lot of disclosures as it is already. So I'm hoping, with all the brokers I've been with, I've been very lucky to have had a lot of guidance with those brokerages and a lot of legal guidance, and we were extremely compliant. So I'm really, really confident that I can hopefully clear the air a little bit. In addition to this, yesterday was a broker summit with MLS, which was a war room. A lot of people, a lot of brokers that are older, actually even older than I am. I've seen brokers.
What? Is that even possible?
I'd seen brokers that had their license in the 60s, before man landed on the moon.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So those brokers that have been licensed since 1960 and I guess earlier, are their licenses grandfathered in?
As far as they probably had the 45-hour thing, and they said, yeah, it's grandfathered in.
Do they ever have to retake the trainings again or no?
I don't know about that. Maybe they did a change. Anyway, I'm not the Department of State. I believe we should all be subject to somewhat of I believe in the continuing education, as annoying it may sound to people. I believe we should even have more hours into being able to get a license. More hours into actually sales skills.
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it right on the head. I was gonna say more training in negotiation tactics, people skills,
proper way of lead generation, marketing, like some sort of acquiring an acumen in basic marketing, branding, understanding of this new technology.
How to introduce yourself on the first call.
Yeah, follow-up systems to be put in place.
Yeah,
out customer service. A whole bunch of those things that were not being taught in real estate school.
Correct. I think that should be a part of the curriculum.
Anyway, this is my opinion, and what we're discussing today is my opinion. We will try to be as compliant as possible with antitrust laws. So we will not discuss any commission amounts. We're not going to use the word. Actually, we're going to
substitute.
What I want you guys to do, I'm talking to everybody in the world right now who's a licensed real estate agent in the States. Please stop using the word commission split, and how much we're going to share with a co-broker. or with a cooperating agent. You're gonna have to define nowadays like really your listing commission and how much, if possible or if allowed, how much the seller, when you're a listing agent, will allow. Will allow as a commission. He would be allowing the cooperating agent who has the buyer, whether it's represented or not, and how much commission, how much fee for service is allowed to give them. So we are not sharing commission. And I know some brokerages are taking a strong stand on this. The brokerage where you're at and is actually going to stop using the commission share language forever. So now they're not sharing commission. They're gonna have the listing commission and then allow the seller will be, allow a certain amount, X amount or X percentage to be for him to give to the buyer's agent or cooperating agent.
Okay, Gigi, real quick, just to let you know, you might have to lean in just a little tad bit because
sorry.
The microphone kind of goes out.
Oh, sorry. I am not in my regular setting.
It's okay. I'm just giving you the heads up. People hear what you're saying. That's why.
Good. All right. So I know you had some concerns. I don't want to keep like a long 1 hour expose on this.
What I want to do is more kind of, if we can sum it up in a nutshell, I would say dumb it down. Let's keep it very simple in what we're sharing. Again, because a lot of people would prefer information that way. You know what I mean? And it's easier to understand and digest. So what I would say is clearly there's changes. When are these changes taking effect? When is it set in stone?
So officially they had discussed August 17, but our MLS has agreed to take the forms to take effect on August 8th next week.
Okay.
All right. So we have a whole bunch of new forms. By the way, if you're going to look into your MLS right now and go into your Instanet and create a transaction, if you wanted to send as of yesterday, if there was nothing in place with the new forms, which was a little bit confusing because I secured a couple of listings and then I had to use the addendum to the listing agreement that was attached to the new flash update for the North settlement and the new form. So I had to scramble and find this new form, clearly stating that as of August 8th, all commissions are decoupled. That's the main thing. So this North settlement is, I don't want to go with history of the first NAR, when NAR was created and this and that and how it's been in contention with the Department of Justice, because this is not news. This didn't just happen last November. It's been years in the making. And then when attorneys decided to, knowing that the Department of Justice was looking into NAR very closely, those attorneys that are very good salespeople, I guess, decided to initiate class action lawsuits. Congratulations, attorney, you did a very good job. All right. Yes. And yes, and I do where it was initiated in Missouri or Kansas or wherever it was. Things are not as disclosed as they are in New York. Okay. So there was ground for some class action lawsuits. Fast forward, so now all the commissions are being decoupled. As of August 8th, none of the commission, there won't be any mention of commission or fee for service into MLS listings, into our board of realtor. All right. So it won't be like we're offering X amount to the buyer's agent. We're offering X amount to
so that's no longer being discussed.
No.
That it's almost like
can't be in the comments, can be in the remarks, can be anywhere.
So the MLS doesn't want to be associated with any conversation of commission compensation or service fee rent.
That's part of the settlement. Yes. The conversation have to be outside of MLS.
Got it. They don't want to be a part of it. Makes sense. It's an easier way to wash your hands.
Right. But guess what? So decoupling of commission. Also for you as an agent, as a listing agent, you will definitely work on your fee for service to the seller, right? I would advise strongly for agents not to even offer commission share. There shouldn't be any commission share. That's going to create additional confusion. So again, telling Mr. Seller, this is we agree on my fee for service. Do you wish to offer compensation to the buyer's agent or the cooperating agent? And if you do, what is the amount? And when we'll do this, we can propose it. It could be done in different ways. There is many ways to skin a cat.
Okay. So
Okay?
not that I want to get heavily involved.
If it's possible. But then again, if you don't want to propose any compensation, it's your prerogative as Mr. Seller. Okay, and this is where agents are having a huge issue. What about me? My fee and stuff. And this is where we're going to have to go back over really what are we doing? What is our value? Are we in it just for us to be making a paycheck? Or are we there to really represent the public and giving out a service, which we should be compensated for, of course.
Of course.
Okay.
Nothing.
This is where also things got messy with those class action lawsuits, because it looks like we look as real estate agent as just, very greedy individual. My commission, my money, where it should be service focused and client focused. Okay. So agents working with buyers, you're going to have an agreement with people that you're taking out and showing properties to. You, the listing agent, and like you, when you're going to have somebody walking into your open house, no need to sign anything. Just the disclosures, right? Regular agency and fair housing disclosure. When a buyer is going to come and call you for, on one of your listing, they don't have to be represented. You could still be showing them as an unrepresented buyer to you. It's your listing. But you're going to have to disclose clearly that you're working with the seller.
So when they come to the door, you're going to stop them and say, hey, by the way, just want you to know that I'm working in favor of the seller.
But that's what I've been doing all the time. All my agency disclosures were signed. Like I'm showing buyers, and it's clearly stated when they sign that agency disclosure that I'm working for the seller. Correct. And if you want somebody to represent you, go for it. Go find an agent. If you want me to refer you to another agent in my office, we'll do I don't even like to do dual agency, but we'll have to because it's from the same office. We'll do dual agency with designated agent. So we have clearly stated roles. So buyer's agents, everybody is feeling, oh, now I'm going to get paid. There's many ways you can get paid. If you're going to read those new forms, you should be, in favor to the consumer, the buyer. You should be making every single effort possible to collect the commission from the seller first. And that's easy because ultimately you're still the one who is buying the property. The buyer is buying the property. There won't be any commission if there is any fee for service if there is no buyer. Yeah. So ultimately the buyer has a lot to do with how much of a part of a commission payout or a fee for service payout.
Makes sense.
Right?
You're clarifying this from the very beginning, which a lot of people haven't done. Right. They kind of just
this is why we got in this mess. But you and I have been in the same brokerages where things were very clearly stated. So there is no confusion. We've been trained to really clearly state our representation. And let's also go one layer further out. Representation and compensation are two different things. You don't have to represent someone and for them to pay you. I could work, since all commissions are negotiable, they could come from different sources.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Correct.
Right?
It's true.
So if done properly, you're still going to be able to, it's not going to cost more money to the buyer. We're not going to be able to double dip into charging commission for the buyer and the seller. This is completely illegal and unethical, and this is where you're going to have a lot of testing done. Right? So please be careful, agents, if you think like, now I can double charge.
So let's clarify that just a little bit as far as that comes, right? Because typically right now, if I have a listing, buyer comes in, not represented, we get to the closing table, and that's kind of in a sense me being paid or compensated on both sides. But now
No,
if I tell
no, you're being
if
compensated. No, this is no. It's, you see that we have to use those words. You're not being compensated on both sides. You're being compensated the amount that you agreed to by the seller.
from the
You brought, you know,
beginning.
yes.
So for
By
example, if
first,
I have to clarify, so if I charge X% for my services rendered, and if a buyer comes in unrepresented and I have to work with that buyer and prepare them for this purchase, then in that situation, I will charge you X plus Y%.
no, no, you can't.
I can't say
It
that from
has
the
to be
beginning though.
no, no, no. It has to be agreed with the seller. This is what you
That's what I'm
don't.
saying. So
You could
from
say,
the
Mr.
beginning, we're
Seller,
drafting the contract, is what I'm saying.
Mr. Seller, this is, basically my fee for service as listing agent for helping, bringing about a buyer.
Okay.
Whether or not, like, it could be, if I don't bring about the buyer, you can offer some compensation to the co-broker agent, and this is X amount. If I bring about the buyer, we could still work out a compensation, but it has to be agreed before. It cannot be
Right
agreed
there.
after.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Commissions are still completely negotiable, but they have to be disclosed from the beginning.
And it
Any
has to
type
be
of
in it.
structure you want has to be disclosed from the beginning of, like signing an agreement with that seller. Like,
And it has to be
before
done
you
from the
even
very
take,
beginning in
once you're
contract.
going to take, let's say you don't work with listing, you work with buyers, clearly state with the buyer what your compensation, how your compensation is going to be structured, or the different ways you're going to be able to structure it. You're going to have to really clearly state and educate the buyer on how you're going to be compensated, because you're going to have to do also with offers, how they're going to be presented, concessions for closing costs, which include, compensations. And again, still a matter of contention where Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and all this, and I don't really want to get into this.
Seller's cost. So we have officially been put into the closing costs of a sale, like the services that we render.
You can also negotiate a fee for service that it can be a combination of compensation from the seller, as far as either straight compensation from the seller, or adding some sort of a seller's concession, or having the buyer also pay the commission from themselves, like for themselves. So it could be a combination of several things. And this is where, like, I encourage all those agents to really get trained on how to present offers and how the concessions work. And if you need help, is find a mortgage specialist that really is well versed in this. Okay, and doesn't just give you the wrong information and stir you away. So we're still going to have to navigate those muddy waters, but it's business as usual. And just remember that compensation is always negotiable from the beginning.
Once it's in contract, that's it.
At the inception of the relationship, because we're going to have to sign agreements to work with the buyer, whether it's a one-time agreement, which MLS, by the way, does not have any forms pertaining to the one-time showing, which I'm going to give you a little secret, can be found on the NISAR website, which has a library of forms. So you're going to have to either create a new account if you don't have an account with NISAR, which includes your NAR ID number, and usually it's associated with your MLS your MLS email address, not your MLS membership number, but your NAR ID. And you're going to be able to, in that NISAR library, find the one-time showing buyer agreement. Could be one time for one property or one day or whatever, but it's a one-time showing agreement, because not everybody would want to enter into an exclusive agreement with an agent they meet for the first time. Everything should be relational and they should be feeling comfortable. All right,
I
so
agree.
you have different layers where you can present. We're going to have something signed. So this is the easiest form. It's a one time. So should you, on that property that I'm going to show you, Mr. Buyer, should you want to present an offer, that offer is presented, this is my fee. And this should be always clearly stated. Then, Mr. Buyer, you like me, they like the way I presented things. We worked on this on an offer. Yes, it didn't work out because whatever, I was still testing the market. Now I feel comfortable with you, Mr. Agent. I'm going to sign me, Mr. Buyer, an exclusive agreement where we're going to work for 3 months or whatever. Clearly stating also my compensation. And then you showed me, Mr. Buyer, that yes, clearly you were trying to do every best effort to get the compensation from the seller. And this is clearly stated in those forms in MLS.
Yeah.
Right, so business as usual. I know a lot of agents over the years were like some listing agents didn't want to present offers that had some sort of concession, or even buyer's agents still negotiating. Oh, on MLS it showed X number for buyer's agent or broker's agent, and now you're putting in additional X percentage. That's not fair. Don't want to present it. You should have presented it because commissions are all negotiable. It's all negotiable. So now nobody can. We're still gonna have the clear cooperation rules. We're still gonna have to present offers because we're still part of a board of realtor. Some agents will say, "What do I need a board of realtor for?" I'm not answering this question. It's political. But
that was going to be my next question. No,
I'm not going into that track.
I know.
But we're still gonna have to go with the rules. Really clear cooperation. Same thing with showing. I would strongly advise everybody to use showing time. Okay, so everything would be clearly noted in writing. And you don't have to, it took me like 2 days to speak to a seller. Like lately, he was completely, I don't know why he was MIA, trying to book an appointment for a certain time. And again, it's not because Mr. Buyer's agent or working with the buyer that you're making a showing request and showing time that it has to be accepted.
Yeah.
Because it's up to the seller's availability, right? Or the agent's availability if you need to be there for showing. Yeah, so those are great times.
So I mean, it's not too much of a, it's basically nothing, but it's just now forcing us to document what we're doing instead of just word of mouth.
Right. So if you're going to work with a seller, and then if you're choosing to work with a buyer on an exclusive basis or non-exclusive basis, I would advise you as an agent to get a designated agent to work with this buyer, not to go into this very grayish representation of the dual agency. I'm really going to take a stand. I just have only 4 years of French law school, but I'm just seeing where there is this gray area, knowing how the Department of Justice has been looking into everything that we're doing at NAR as NAR members. I would be very, very careful and having very distinct representation and really clearly stated compensation agreement. That's all you guys need to do.
Okay.
All right. And a dual agency has to be agreed by your seller and the buyer. Everybody needs to be agreeing upon this. You're not dictating. And if you cannot articulate representation, just go with one. And again, find a designated agent to represent the buyer. And this, again, has nothing to do with how much that agent is going to be compensated. It could get paid in cannoli or if they're agreeing to, why not?
Cannolis?
Yeah, why not?
I'll pass on the cannolis.
All right.
Pizza now. Pizza,
yeah.
All
but
right,
you see, Ed, it's not, all you have to do is being very, very clear.
Correct.
You have the right to being compensated for your work.
100%.
And then now, now it's going to open up a can of worm like agents. You really need to know what you're bringing to the table. If you cannot articulate your value as an agent and what you do,
there it is.
Exactly.
It's the value.
What's your value proposition? And it's not like, look at me, I can do twerking, whatever. No. It's like, what do you bring? What you see, like, I heard from someone, like, what would be missing from the marketplace if you weren't there? Ask yourself this question.
What would be missing from the marketplace if I wasn't there?
As an agent, yes.
As an agent.
Right. So
what
now ask yourself this question.
That's a good question.
See that, yes. So that really, like, look inward and really think of what are you bringing to the table as an agent. So again, you can have some tools for that. Go into the NAR websites. They're doing a lot of, they have a lot of research done on what buyers are looking for in an agent and so on and so forth. So pick up the cues from those stuff. Statistics, use your RPR. Have you used the research tab on RPR?
Yes.
I use the market trends.
I do.
The micro market trends. Those are amazing. Like, use some of this data, like saying, okay, yes, I may have some tools to be able to find the data, which is absolutely normal because we're not going to just come up with it. But
correct.
What is your, go inward, like think, like now, next week you have 1 week. What is my value as an agent? What do I bring to the table?
Yeah. And with that, you shall be compensated for it.
Yesterday, I was sorry for cutting you.
It's okay.
Yesterday, I was sitting with some agents in our local marketplace, brokers that have been in business, even multi-generational business, and those brokers could not even articulate their value in my local marketplace. I really don't want to point out and name names, but I was like baffled as you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you represent on the marketplace. If you've had a business passed down from one parent to the other and your name has been on the marketplace for like more than 50 years, and now you don't even know that you have a legacy, you can even clearly state that to your consumer, it's sad. So really, like, as us, even on our level, what do we do for the consumer? What is our value, and what we deserve to be compensated, what we want to be compensated?
I think you should drop the mic right there, Gigi.
That's it.
Yep. No, so that's what we wanted to do, just kind of clarify, I guess. And thankfully, you went and attended a broker's meeting. With clarification.
No, it was a shit show. It was a war room. People were like outraged and asking insane questions, and that made me look into really like, okay, so we have those forms, we have the stuff. Somebody mentioned NISAR. Let me look into my NISAR. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, now this is going to give me more clarity. And again, it also, you have the choice of not using those MLS forms, and they're saying you can create your own forms, but you're going to have to be compliant with the NAR settlement, and you're going to have to hire a legal counsel to put those forms together. I'm like, let's use what we have from NISAR, from LIBOR. And since we are somewhat protected from that lawsuit, because anyway, my brokerage had settled. Your brokerage, they settled or something like that. So everybody is sort of protected and had paid up into that settlement. And I'm like, let's just go with what they're offering. We're not rewriting anything, and that's it. That's it. So guys, if you have any...
So it's business as usual.
Business as usual, just clearly state, again, your compensation, like actually disclose, like your relation. Basically, you're not gonna, a showing agreement is not gonna be in lieu of a agency disclosure.
Correct.
Keep on, yes, and I'm betting you'll have a lot of testers out there in the coming month. So just be ready, be prepared, be really clear about how you conduct your business. You'll be out of trouble. That's it.
You heard it here first.
All right, guys. So this is it for today. I hope to bring you a much lighter subject next week.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
mean,
something silly next week, which has really.
we
like,
needed some clarification, so we got it.
Yeah. You okay? You feel better about it, right?
I didn't even have a worry about it. All I figured was, listen, it is what it is. Changes are changes, and the way I saw it was for the better. You know,
I mean,
yes, we need more
cool.
clarification.
If you want to call me and I'll tell you like what form to. So if you have existing listings, you're not going to need to have no agreement drafted. This is where a lot of confusion lays as well. One last thing. There is this addendum to exclusive listing agreement. All you have to do is going to clearly state that there was an settlement and that all the commission discussion will be taken out of MLS. Bring that form to your sellers, have them sign that form, and your agreement is an exclusive agreement, it's a valid contract. It's just going to clearly state that, and that's it. Just go bring it to your sellers, have them sign it, and you're good to go.
Cool.
Call me if anything. You guys can reach out. I'm available and help you out with defining some forms. Not everybody is lucky to have brokerage where they have like support systems in place. So if anything, contact me. I think that's the help.
I like it.
All right.
Awesome. Gigi, thank you for sharing that. Again,
Welcome.
just wanted to get some clarity. I wanted to make sure everybody else had that opportunity as well. And just be careful on how you conduct yourself out there. Like Gigi said, there might be some testers.
No, but let's be professional. We should
Of
be
course.
from the get-go.
I'm just saying,
reason
to be careful.
So it's not about you. Like, you have to really come from a servant mindset. Like, yes, this is all about the consumer and how much good I can do into being able to attain the American dream. This is it. I'm just speaking like a freaking immigrant, and I don't care because I am one. And and this is what it's all about. You want to be part of the American dream, which number one is home ownership. That's all it is. And yes, if I can help someone getting into a home, yes. If I can help someone selling their home for whatever need they have and buying something else and keeping this relationship going and creating a pool in my database of customers that trust and like me, I want to do business with me, I feel very blessed. That's it. So we're done. Enough.
Everybody's calling. They know I got a live, and they're all calling me right now. Clients, listen. When the phone's ringing, it's good. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
All right.
Well, folks,
thank you guys.
Appreciate your time.
Next week or next time, I do apologize. We were MIA last week. I had so many things to do, and then you had some little personal stuff. I hope everything is good on your side. All right. So everybody out there, stay safe. Be professional. Be courteous. Disclose everything. No shady business. We are all professionals. I love this industry. This brought me a lot of like meeting good friends, meeting great people, and having, getting us a nice lifestyle after all.
I feel like we need an amen after that.
Amen. God bless America.
Amen.
God bless America. America.
America.
All right, guys.
All right, love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Like always,
Bye.
peace.